Good evening! Hopefully everything here is working fine. Let me grab my chat window here so I can see if everything's working. Hello Ken, how are you this evening? Thanks for joining us tonight. If somebody could just give me a thumbs up that the audio and video and everything seems to be working and looking and sounding okay, that would be great. That'll give us a good starting point for the stream tonight. We'll just see how everything looks. Hey Donnie. Oh, we got a thumbs up. So that tells me that the everything seems to be working okay. I am not using my normal audio tonight, so that's going to be a little bit different. Just had some pre-stream audio issues, so just pivoting there and going in another direction. All right. I just turned off my chat again. Yvang sounds good. You're a little blurry though. Okay. Let me have a quick peek here. I'm a little blurry. Let me just reach right ahead here and see if I can make an adjustment. I don't know if that's any better. I have a manual focus camera here. Let's see if that's any better. Everything seems to be good to me, Andrew. Donnie says, sounds good. Chris Fox says, okay. All right. I would like to find a way to make the font of my chat, yeah, it seems to be focused on the background. Give me a moment here. You'll see some weird things go up on the screen. But if you can still hear me, I'm just going to check to see if this thing is in manual or automatic focus. It's on automatic focus. Let me just switch that here. All right, now when I make adjustments, it should, all things being equal, it should actually adjust for me. How's that? Is that good? Let me know if that's better. You know, like you go to the optometrist, 1 or 2? 1 or 2. Is this better? Is this better than it was? Better. Okay, Donnie says it is better. Perfect. All right. And it actually kind of gives a nice depth of field with the background being blurred out a little bit. That's kind of cool. I like that. All right. We will go with that. All right. Let me get some stuff out of the way here. And let me get swapped over to the bench. And there we go. All right. So tonight, what I'm going to be doing is working on a bunch of the spaghetti wiring because, well, I am working on terminating all of the wires on the Enterprise E, which is fully assembled, which is nice. I mean, apart from the ends of the warp nacelles and a couple greebles here, there, and abouts, but I need to terminate all of these wires on into jumper cables so that they will go into the Arduino or into the breadboard a lot easier. Now I kind of hopped on to the Hobbytown, I got it right, Hobbytown Modelers stream last night. I was working on some of this, but I was attaching the jumper cables to the data wires. And wouldn't you know it, I forgot to add the resistor to the data channels. And I need to do that. Audio got low. Oh, audio got low because I ran away from the microphone. Tonight, instead of having the lapel microphone, I've got this little guy right here just outside of frame. Oh, and I need to hit a button on the camera. That's better. I forgot to turn all the data information off on the camera. Let me get caught up on the chat here. Better, that is better. Better, are we going to see the 650D tonight? We will see. I mean, I can show you things on the 650D if you would like to see things on the 650D. You can turn off your camera settings. Yeah, okay, got it. It did get quiet. It did get quiet probably as I ran away from that microphone. So, the levels look okay audio-wise on my streaming, but is the audio okay right now? Hobby time, yes. Is the audio okay right now? Still quiet? Okay, well, I can make some adjustments to that. All right, tell me if the audio is better now. Better or worse? Better or worse? Again, we're into the optometrist stage here. Let's see. There's about a 7-second delay on the stream, so I have to say it. Then there has to be about 7 seconds, and then you have to comment. And Donnie says, much better. Perfect. All right, here we go. Picture-in-picture looks okay, so you can see my face. You can see my streaming coffee mug. Audio's good on your end. Perfect. All right. Well, let's get the solder iron all done up. Now, I'm working on my live stream desk. My bench is behind me. Normally, my solder is on my regular workbench, but you don't want to see what's on that side because it's just the other side of the garage, and it is kind of storage and messy. This gives a better background. So I've got my solder iron on the live stream desk here, but it means it's set up for left hand right now, and that might confuse me. So I might get tangled up in the wiring on the solder gun, but gun, it's not really a gun. I'm working on the DS9 model and using a mix of CA glue and epoxy. One of my epoxy parts broke off. Not sure if I should trust epoxy. Any tips for good results with epoxy? I tend to use epoxy more on resin parts or securing down wires, that kind of thing. If I'm doing a plastic model, I typically use CA glue. That is my personal preference. Results may vary, and preferences may also vary, but I will generally use CA glue on the plastic model. So if you're talking about this one, then yeah, although this is clear and the CA glue may craze the clear parts, I'm not sure, haven't really tested it. But if you're talking about the non-clear one, which I've got on the shelf, it's just not as easy to get to, yeah, that's what I would be using. All right, the Enterprise E is looking great so far. I have a model still in the box that I have been intending to assemble. Yeah, and if you've got a copy of it, that's good because they're getting really hard to get a hold of now. I had to make some special arrangements to get a copy of the kit, so I had one in backup because all the other copies of the kit I have here in the shop are spoken for. The 2 that are on the bench, and then another one after all of these are done for clients. So I want to make sure I had a reserve in the shop. I don't like being without. All right, so I will try to keep my eye on the chat. Yavang says, yes, and it is clear. Thanks. Yeah. Okay, so the crazing should not be an issue with the CA glue on the clear parts that are going to be painted, because those are all going to be painted anyway. I'd be curious to find out what your plan is as far as lighting. Are you going to be lighting it, and what are you going to do for your windows on the DS9 clear kit model? All right, I need to get all of these data channel wires, and I need to undo the work I did last night on these particular ones.
because I put the jumper wires on without putting the 330 ohm resistors on that is recommended to have on for the data channels, and I want to have them right in the wire line here, so I don't have to worry about connecting those up later when I connect them to the Arduino. So I have a few of them here that I need to make an adjustment to. The purple line here is just going to 0402 SMD in the quantum torpedo launcher, so that does not need that resistor. That just needs the resistor that was already on inside the model for the power to that. So we will set that off to the side. I think I've got my... No, that is not hot yet. That's odd. Actually, it is hot. I just need to put some water on it. And I'm actually, instead of running out to get some water for the sponge, I'm not going to use the cup that I just dropped on the floor. I'm just going to grab one of these teeny tiny cups, grab a bit of my drinking water here, and rehydrate my sponge that way. A little bit more. Rehydrate my sponge that way. Good. That was easy. I didn't have to run and leave the stream in order to do that. Yeah, there we go. That's behaving much more like what I expect. Captain Shelmang, models, welcome. Hey, Starships, did you enjoy the Star Trek convention you went to, and did you see any new kits that will be possibly coming out in the future? If you're talking about Wonderfest, I had a great time at Wonderfest. If you want to know all about my Wonderfest journey, there is a video on my channel that you can check out where I talk about everything that happened. It is, I think it's a great video. I might be biased because I'm the one that made the video, but yeah, you can check that out for far more details, but it was a good weekend. Met a ton of great people, made some great connections, and yeah, and that was really the point, was to meet people, to talk to people, other content creators, and just people who watch the videos, and just other people who I met who had no connection to my channel, or I had no connection to them. It was just a great weekend to meet people. Yvang says, yes, lighting, using an Arduino Nano and making a base with capacitive touch buttons and a speaker plays the theme when the lights come on. That is cool. I have here somewhere a little bag. Ooh, let me put this in here. I have all of these. Nope, that's the wrong bag. That is not my capacitive touch gizmos. Those are card readers for Arduino. That tells me that I cannot put my hands on the capacitive touch switches in just a matter of a few seconds. Yeah, I've got some capacitive touch switches that I have for testing out with the Arduino, which, you know, might get used on this project. I was originally planning on using the Arduino with the 650D, but I am going to at least test run the inner light system. We'll see if it goes in, but if it works out as well as advertised, it'll probably go into the kit, because my client in Belgium really wanted to be able to control everything with a tablet. So that enables that functionality really easily. So we will give it a try. All right, let's get the model off to the side so I don't drip any solder on the model. Let's get the wiring. I love this 30 gauge wire because I can just strip it with my fingernails. Don't have to worry about getting any particular stripping tool out. The jumper wires, I just use a standard kind of wire stripper tool because it's a heavier gauge. Let's get the solder ready. Where is my solder? I always lose my solder. It's right here. And this is where wire management on this is going to come into play. I am going to move the base a little more central here. All right, soldering on camera. Yay. Before I do that, let's see. Marvel PX says, we are live. Love it, Andrew. Ken's Hobby Bench says, hey, Todd. Yvang says, just using a micro bit to scrape the windows. Yes, okay, perfect. That is actually how I plan on doing it whenever I get around to doing the DS9 clear model. I'm just going to take my my pin vise and just clear out the paint that way, and that's how I'm going to open up the windows. You don't have to drill all the way through, you just have to get the paint off. So I think that's going to work out perfectly. Getting everything aligned properly, that's going to be the trick. I think I'm going to use tape to give me that line. Hey Ken and Donnie and all those wires, it's crazy how all that chaos will eventually be hidden and made manageable. Yeah, more wiring coming down the post than I initially wanted, but it's very tight inside the Enterprise E model kit, and makes it hard to get everything consolidated inside the kit, which I could have done, but for reasons that I just made the decision, I just decided to run all those wires down the post and deal with consolidation on the other side. I mean, nobody cares what the backstage looks like as long as the production goes off without a hitch. So all that wiring is going to be inside the post and down into the base, and nobody's ever going to be able to. Nobody's ever going to see it. So really, whether it's all consolidated inside the ship or inside the base doesn't really matter. And the bank says, a lot of windows, but it looks great. Yeah. I'm looking forward to building that at some point, but not anytime in the immediate near future. You know what? I'm going to do some reorganization here because it is going to bother me that the solder iron is on the wrong side, and hopefully my power reaches. So let's just... Oh, I'm attached. I'm attached. There we go. Move that over, move this over. I'm going to be much happier running it this way. I don't know why I thought I was going to run it the other way in the first place. Creatures of habit. We are, when things are in the wrong place, mistakes happen. So let's try not to get mistakes happening. Thunder Tuber, the trick to soldering is to put your finger on the tip to make sure it's hot enough. Yeah, let's not do that. Now, I've been having... Of course, I've got the lead-free resin core solder, but I've been having a crazy time getting it to work well. Sometimes it works really well. Sometimes it just gives me all kinds of hassles. And I'm never quite sure whether it's going to be a work well night or whether it's going to be a give me all kinds of hassles night. I much prefer a previous type of solder I was using, but I've got little kids around and I don't want to risk any issues with it. I'm always very careful with it, not breathing in the fumes, but my kids do like to wander in while I'm working. Oh, I almost made the same mistake. I almost made the same mistake as what I am fixing. Let's put the resistor on for data and the resistor on for lore. Windows, those are a pain, especially on the D. There are so many of those, I thought I was going to lose my mind messing with those. Are you talking about on the 1400 scale? here's where I'm at with the 1400 scale right now. In Window World, I've still got, let's see, from here, one row, all the way around here. Then I've got the Arboretum windows, and then the various windows closer to the bridge before I start moving on to the secondary hall, clearing windows out. I will be starting to build this whenever windows are done, so it'll be happening as the 650 scale Enterprise Ds are happening. But yeah, they do take a good chunk of time to get done. I took the 1400 saucers with me. Okay, I always lose my solder. There it is. I took the 1400 scale Ds with me to Wonderfest, thinking that if nobody wanted to talk to me at my booth, I'd have time to get windows done. Needless to say, I didn't get a single one done. So I was able to talk to lots of people, meet lots of people, which was fantastic. All right. And before I forget, let me grab the various shrink tubes I'm going to need for this. All right, I'm going to use some of the teeny tiny black on the actual wire, and then I will put some of the slightly thicker, slightly wider blue over the resistor. My scissors, hiding it over here. Let's see. Jordan says, "Hey Andrew." Captain Charlemagne Model says, "Funny how when you think you will have time, the universe laughs and throws you a curveball." Well, it was a good one because I was hoping that I wouldn't just be standing there twiddling my thumbs, and it worked out pretty well. And everybody's just saying hi to everybody there, so that's great. Welcome to the stream. Finally able to get back to doing some live streaming. My kids are actually going to bed at night now, which is enabling me to actually get some live streaming done. All right, let's get a chunk of that. So I'm using the teeny tiniest shrink tube to go over the wiring, and then the larger one to cover the resistor. In between those two layers of things, I will get it all fully covered so that we don't risk any short circuits anywhere in the system. There we go. Yeah, everybody just saying hello to everybody. Oh, Pizza the Hut, that was hilarious last night. If you did not see, you can check out, I'm assuming it's on Jordan's channel, which is Aligning the Stars. And if you need a quick link to that, I'm sure you can just click on his name in the chat. If not, I've got it also linked on my channel homepage. You can click on that, check that out. And he built a Pizza the Hut at work last night. Really interesting. Turned out well. Let's see, who else? Evang, you have the Fan Home D. I've heard mixed reviews. Would you recommend it? And he says, I built 2 of them. The videos on the Hobby Time Modelers site. See, I'm saying it properly. I'm saying it properly. I figured it out. I'm saying it properly. I don't know what was going through my mind on my Wonderfest review video where I couldn't say it properly. One stock and one heavily modified. All right, let's get this going. I think, wait, no, I already tinned that up. And, okay. Let's throw this onto the resistor. I'm going to bring this down so I can rest my hand on my table. I'm getting old. I need to get glasses where I don't have to look over the top when I'm doing the close-up work. There we go. I'm always worried about heat transfer through the wire, especially on the area that's going to the LEDs when they're already attached. I've discovered that if you pinch the wire really tightly, your fingers absorb a bunch of the heat and it doesn't transfer through the wire as much. So you don't risk, even though you want to be as quick as you can be doing all this stuff so you don't transfer too much heat, you can actually get it to transfer the heat into your fingers rather than all the way down the wire to the LED. How goes the build tonight? Well, I'm fixing mistakes I made last night. I was attaching all of these jumper wires, and I was attaching to the data cables, and forgot to put the data resistor on. So I'm going back, undoing that work I did last night just on the data wires and fixing it. Is this gonna reach over here, or do I need to switch plugs? Let's switch plugs, see if this one reaches. It's the only issue with working on the live stream bench. I don't have power right at the live stream bench. I've got some power behind it, but live stream gear is running off of that, so makes it just a little bit trickier. All right, so let's get this shrunk down. There we go. This particular one, if anybody's interested, which I'm sure you were not interested, is the warp data cable. Meaning it's the cable that is, the wire that is controlling the effect on the warp nacelles, on the warp engines. The blue LEDs, the go to warp flash, all of that. All right, one down. Let's move on to the next one. This particular one is going to be the Bizarre data cable, which is dealing with the fluttery red effect going on in the cell. Nope, that's warp data. Just got that done. Where did the Bizarre go? Here it is. You have an entire build site online showing how you did both of them. Cool. What movie paint scheme is going to be on the Enterprise E again, Andrew? I think you mentioned it before, but it's been a while. I forgot. Yeah, at least one of them is certainly going to be based on the filming model from First Contact. And to be honest, I'm going to have to go back to my client notes to double check to see what the other one is, because it's been a while. So before I paint, I will be going back to my client notes to make sure that I am getting it right. And in fact, I will also check in with the clients again to make sure that they are absolutely getting the paint scheme they want. The one client who wants the reproduction of the studio model, essentially, really liked the way Hagen Miller did his 650 scale Enterprise E and would like it to look much like that, which is great because I can ask Hagen what coloring he actually used on it and then scale it for the size of the ship. So it's always nice to have some go-to references like that. And it seems to be a night where the solder is mostly cooperating, which is nice. Last night, it was not. Hit that like button, yeah. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Okay. I'd post the link, but not Mod Andrew, are you going to use masks for this E? I am test running. Hold on. I am test running the masking set by Mask Design. Oh, there's got to be a... I thought there was a... kind of like an infographic sheet in here, but you can see them... see them here. So this is the masking set by Mask Design, and I'm going to be trying these out and giving my honest review on those as soon as I can get to the painting stage. Yeah, Mask Design. Let's see. Visards, I think, is what you were working on. Yes, fellow Canadian. So I have 2 sets of the Mask Design kit because I've got 2 of these. I'm going to try it out on the first one first, and if I like it, I will do it on the second one. And I mean, they look really good. I've seen some work done with them, so I have no reason to suspect that it will not go swimmingly. All right. They do a masking set for the E now. Kind of funny, because so when I did my first one, there was no masking set for them, and everybody told me you had to use the Aztec decals, the wallpaper decals, and I didn't like that answer. But everybody I talked to the masking guys, everybody I talked to told me, no, you just use the Aztec decals for that, and I did not like that answer one bit. So and actually I know at least one person told me you can't paint the Aztec detail on that 1400E, and so nobody tells me I can't do anything because I am stubborn enough to do it anyway, regardless of how long it's going to take. So I did it. Blue painter's tape, blue 3M painter's tape, cut finely. Ooh, I don't like that solder. There we go. And in fact, let me just see if I can pull something up here. I can never find this when I'm looking for it, but I'm able to find it today. Let's see if that fell in. Here's what it looked like when it was being masked with the blue painter's tape. I took a metal straight edge and cut the tape very finely, very thin, and then chopped it up into the little tiny bits in order to make the intricate patterns. And that's how that one was done. But I figure it's going to be so much easier if the masking set works out. Yeah. So that was that. Let me grab my chat back up here. In Canada, do you pronounce it aluminum or aluminium? We pronounce aluminum. We do not have the aluminium spelling. That's one way that we are separated from the Brits. However, we do spell color with a U and honor. And all of those words where the Americans have dropped out the U. Let's see. Don't tell someone they can't do something that is surefire way to make sure someone to make someone try it anyway, just to prove those people who said you can't wrong. Exactly. Looks like a lot of work. Yeah, it was definitely a lot of work. It was actually kind of therapeutic too. I also find trolling out the windows very therapeutic and calming and restful too. I'm about to try laser cutting masking tape. Have you ever done anything similar? No, just a very sharp number 11 blade, a metal straight edge, and that's the way I did it. Worked out really well. Or at least I think it worked out really well. All right. Oh, let's get the shrink tube on. I've also done that a couple times where I've just forgotten to preload my shrink tube. And I've regretted that. There we go. I'm actually going to put the blue on the wire side this time because there's a bit more space, just because of where I put the label. Now, you know what? Oh, tiny little spider. Got those tiny little spiders all over the place this time of year. Gotta say, they're not as bad. The tiny little spiders are not as, though they leave spider webs all over the place that have to be cleaned up. They are not as bad as crickets end of August. We get invaded here with crickets to the point where I've actually had to take packing tape and seal up the bottom of our garage door so they can't make it through, because there's nothing worse trying to make a video than having crickets going off in the background. How are you still saying the masking is a nightmare fuel? Is nightmare fuel just looking at how small those are? Again, for me, it was quite therapeutic and calming and everything like that. Donnie says, dude, everyone says I'm insane because I like to paint tiny minis, but those masking tape masks for the E is insane. Great job. I remember watching that series. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. And it turned out really great. Here we go. Come on. Come on, solder. Work for me tonight. Don't be stubborn. Give me a nice, clean solder, and I will appreciate it. I was going to say, one of the advantages that you guys who are on the Hobby Time Modelers have is that you're not holding the whole conversation for the entire stream all on your own, because you've got multiple people to be able to banter back and forth with and hold conversations with. And so, you know, there's conversation going majority of the time, but it's not just one person keeping that conversation going the majority of the time. That's kind of cool. Oh, when I'm streaming on my own, I really do feel the need to keep talking the whole time, so it's not boring. You need a goofy producer. Thanks. All right, here we go. Let's get. That's gonna be tight. That's good. Let's get all the parts of the shrink tube on top and bring the heat gun back. Did I see somebody has a wireless, like a cordless heat gun? I think I need one of those. I don't think it was quite heated up yet. Yeah, the conversation is what makes those streams so fun to do. You're sure that Ian does and it's a Makita? Captain Charlemagne, gonna head out. Hope you all have a good evening and good week. Catch you later, Angie. Looking forward to the next time. Thank you for spending some time here on the stream. There we go. That's working out nicely. Yeah, I'm chained down with the wire on this one. I need to get myself a cordless heat gun. I'm assuming you need a hefty battery on a cordless heat gun, because I'm sure it just sucks the power up, producing the heat. All right, 2 of these done. All right, let's see. Phaser data. Let's get this one done. Do you use liquid resin? I've been using it to secure my LEDs. It cures clear, doesn't dull the light like CA glue can. Like, using it in what purpose? I'm using SolarRes for the windows on the Big D. But like, what application are you talking about with the LEDs? Just to secure them in place, or what there? Okay. Get that cleaned off. And before I forget, let's grab another 330 ohm resistor. Get this ready to go. Secure them in place for my photon launch, and for beacon lights, strobes, etc. Yeah, how do I secure? Pretty sure that the like the strobe and nav SMDs on this one I epoxied in place from the bottom, and then I'm going to on these I'm actually just going to put a small piece of fiber in on the outside, mostly to keep them clean for painting. But the fiber is basically just a placeholder in that case, and those will be secured in either with canopy glue or microcrystal clear. Does not adhere like glue, but if the resin wraps around something, it definitely won't let go. Yeah. Honestly, it's been a while since I put the lighting into this thing, so I'd have to go back to my videos to see what I exactly did in this particular case, because methods do tend to change periodically, either from experience or mood, or just what I particularly want to do in that moment. Oh, almost did it again. Get some shrink tube on here. SolarRes thin hard is your choice. I just wish it wasn't such a pain to get it. Although I can get it direct from SolarRes. It's a pain that it's not available anywhere else. We are going to have to strap that solder roll to your wrist. I am always losing it. I can never find it. Oh, let's get that on the actual resistor there so it doesn't flop around and move around. Oh, I didn't prepare that other side of the resistor. Solder like Spider-Man? Stick it to your watch band. All right. Bit of the blue. Go. What's everybody else working on tonight? Because I'm assuming most people watching the stream are probably working on a project themselves. That's what I do. Either catch somebody's live stream while I'm working, or watch somebody's videos while I'm working. Could you imagine if Spider-Man shot webs of liquid solder instead? Well, I think that would be incentive not for criminals to stop criminaling. That's not a word. Be a little burny. With the speed that solder loses its heat, it solidifies. Probably wouldn't get very far. There we go. All right. Once more. Grab the chain down. Heat gun. Well, I'm not going to be able to upgrade the heat gun until I get some projects off the bench. I need to get some cash coming in. And make some equipment upgrades. Problem is when you're doing this from a content creation standpoint, you don't just have your tools, like your model building tools and everything that you need to upgrade. You've got your content creation tools, your cameras and hardware and gear and such to upgrade too. Let's see. I'm writing up articles for my Lotus Esprit part work build and watching. Oh, great. The TOS Galactica for me, ThunderTuber says. Donnie's working on his Defiant. Jordan's doing the old Kashyyyk streak on the words I can't pronounce. Millennium Falcon. All right. Was working on the 1/32 TIE Fighter. Just need an intro video for it. Yeah. Content creation slows down the work too. Evang says I am sealing up the promenade of DS9. Then I am on to the Outer Ring, and a smiley from Ken. And Evang says that he loves the Defiant model. It was one of his favorite builds. Not too tough, just fun to build. Yeah. I built one when I was younger, when I was in high school. And I am fortunate enough to have one in stock on the shelf. So I don't know if I've got my old Defiant. I'll have to double check because if you can get your hands on that Defiant, the full, like the larger one, grab it, because they're not making any more of those. They're not repopping that at all. All right. So far we've got bizarre data, warp data, phaser data. Now the white here is window data. Don't even need to look at the tag for that one. So let's get this all fixed up. Who was it that got a good deal on the Defiant at Wonderfest? Was that... I'm thinking that was Jordan that got that? Somebody got a good deal on the Defiant kit. Yeah. That was you. I'm always keeping... There's some kits I'm always keeping my eye out for. So whether that's on like eBay or Facebook Marketplace, I prefer like Facebook Marketplace if there's a local or relatively local, because sometimes you can get a really good deal and you're not paying the shipping, you're just picking it up. I've got some really good deals that way. And it's actually able to, so I picked up like a group of models, and inside was a pretty much mostly built, well, it was fully built and partly painted 657 Voyager model that they didn't want. They didn't finish and they didn't want, and they just kind of included it with the models I was buying. And a little while ago, actually it was when I did my unboxing video for the 650D, somebody saw it in the background and offered to buy it, and so pretty much almost covered the cost of what I bought in selling that one model. So that was a good deal. Donnie says, I've got the green strawberry fruit pack for it, and it's awesome. Yeah, I was looking at that because that's got the shuttle bay in it, right? And a runabout. It was $50 each for the 420 Defiant and the runabout. Yeah. The runabout's not too bad because it is it was just repopped not too long ago. So it's not too hard to come across, but those Defiants are hard to come by. I heard, and you know, I meant to ask Jamie at Wonderfest, but so much going on, I completely forgot. But the rumor I've heard is that the toolings for that kit were destroyed or damaged or something, and so they would have to retool in order to repop that, which they've released the smaller one, so it's doubtful that they would ever do that. Spend the tooling budget, as they say, because what's preventing us from getting some of those kits that we want is their tooling budget. All right. I really want them to release 1000 scale Enterprise D, and then of course if you have 1000 scale Enterprise D, you're gonna want 1000 scale Enterprise E to go along with it. So. Come on, solder, there we go. Or the Defiant missed that part. For the runabout? Or the Defiant. Okay, so yeah, so the runabout they just repopped recently. So, and there's like the nice artwork on the box for it. So there's let me see here. Let me see. Let me move this, do this, and do this. So you've got the old original artwork here, and I've got a couple of those boxes.
And then you've got the nice new artwork on the release that came out not too long ago. So that's good. They've got the tooling for that. It's just it's the Defiant that my understanding is that something happened to the tooling. So we will never get that Oh, you don't want to see my face. You want to see what I'm working on. So
here we go. I mean, for those who want to see my face, it's just like right there in the corner, so. All right. Woo, hot. Hot, don't touch. I didn't quite cool down enough before I picked her up. Got a lot louder when I switched to the other camera. Interesting. No, because I'm running audio separate, so audio is not tied to a camera. That is weird. There should have been no change in the audio when I swapped that out. Very strange. Because it's not a scene, it's I'm running vMix. So it's got the camera prepared and I can just fade it over into the primary feed. It's works differently than OBS does. Which there are things I use OBS for too, but I kind of like vMix for any sort of live streaming. But that audio switch issue, that's definitely something I'll need to look at. Well, we'll find out if it was just you. That's what happened earlier when you first switched over to the bench view. It got way quieter. Weird. Because, I mean, there is audio. I mean, my face cam has a microphone. But the audio is off. And I'm just going to test that. I'm going to turn my main audio off and turn the camera audio on.
This is camera audio, so that should not make a difference.
All right, switching back to my actual microphone. Yeah, I have no idea why that would be a thing. Yeah, very strange. Louder with the camera audio. Huh. Well, when I switch to... Hold on. Let me just do an experiment here, okay? So if you've got your earphones in, just a warning there. So I'm going to switch over to this. Interesting. Okay, so when I switched over to full face cam, it by default turned the audio on the camera on. So let's switch this out, switch this back on into the corner, turn this off, fade back to that, and it automatically turned that microphone on. That's good to know for a number of reasons, including my day job. So, all right. I will have to look at actually physically disabling the audio on the camera side, I think. Because that should do it. But at least we know now what was going on with that. Let me grab my chat back here. Yep, cam was extremely loud. Yeah, camera was way louder. Yeah, multicam is good, but need one audio source. Yeah, that is weird. I don't think that's done that in the past. Maybe that's an update thing. Alright, well, that is a problem for me not to solve on stream here. We diagnosed it on stream, but it is not a problem to fix on stream. So, let's get back at it. That's why I use OBS to do all my camera switching. OBS certainly does have some benefits. I love using OBS for anything involving screen capture. Which, back in my Minecraft days, OBS was the go-to. In fact, if I was still doing Minecraft stuff, I would be using OBS. There we go. All right. Tube on all three pieces. Usually any of my technical issues stem from the fact that I don't have any permanent live stream setup, so I always have to set up ahead of live stream. One day, maybe I'll have live stream specific gear, so I'm not having to set it up all the time. Like I was saying, I gotta get these projects off the bench, get some funds coming in so I can make some of those upgrades. All right, that's window data done. Okay, so I've got deflector to do. Here I thought I was done with all the data. One more. Here we go. I kind of like the way I've got this. I've only got the chat popped out, so I have absolutely no idea how many people are watching, and that's kind of nice. It's kind of nice not having any idea how many people are watching. All right, so this is deflector and impulse data. Was 12, now 10. Fluctuates yet. I do like not worrying about it. All right. One more of these. Stray wire. works here. So a little while ago, how long ago was that now? I can't remember. I was trying to be consistent, live streaming every Saturday night, 9 o'clock after the kids go to bed. But it seems like the kids picked that time to start not wanting to go to sleep, and not wanting to go to sleep unless one of us was laying with them in their bed. So really messed up my plans to live stream every week. But I think we've got that sorted. So hopefully, good bedtimes continue, and I'm able to stream a little more often. You stop paying attention to the number after a while anyway. Just enjoy yourself, and we will stalk you in the best internet way we can. Yeah. Something like that. All right. So I'm hoping, the plan is that once I get these wires fixed, I will grab the Arduino and start testing some of these circuits to make sure that everything is working, and to make sure that the effects are working too. Because I need to get that feedback to my programmer so that we can start cleaning up that sketch and getting the momentary switches sorted and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to let that cool down for a brief moment before I touch it this time. Grab a sip of coffee out of the Spock mug. I've got some water as well. It's cool enough to touch. Swap it around. Do the other side. First time tonight, I put the solder where it belongs. All right, we got a yellow piece. Some black shrink tube ready to go. Sometimes I think I overdo it on the shrink wrap. I'd rather overdo it than run into a problem. There we go. The only reason I'm using black on this is because it's the smallest diameter shrink tube I have. I don't have anything in the color that is quite so narrow a diameter. I thought I did. Come on! Don't get temperamental on me now. There we go. I'm going to turn that off now because I think that's the last soldering I need to do for now. I'm always paranoid that I've actually turned it off. I will go back and check multiple times. Kind of like wondering if you've turned the... I'm gonna have to pre-shrink the black. For some reason, this one piece of yellow is a narrower diameter than the rest of the color stuff. So I have to pre-shrink it. Just to get it over top of the other shrink wrap. Shrink tube. It's not shrink wrap, it's shrink tube. Does anybody know how to make YouTube chat text bigger? That ain't going over. There we go. Thank you. That's better. Now I can read it without having to go like that. So, yeah, the shrink tube's not going over. I mean, it should be okay. All the wiring is covered. I just do really like to cover my bases. Yeah, I can make the window larger, but that doesn't make the text bigger. But the control scroll did it. Well, it's not quite wide enough. Generally don't like using electrical tape, but I'm also not undoing my work again just to put a nice piece of shrink tube on it. You know what they need? Shrink tape. So that when you put tape over top, hit it with a heat gun, it shrinks and seals. There's a product for somebody. Unless electrical tape actually does that, I just don't know. I mean, that's quite possible. Will electric tape shrink when hit with a heat gun? Anyway, that should be good. All right, let me move this stuff out of the way. They make heat shrink with goo inside to seal connections, make them waterproof too. Electrical table do that, but not very well. Yeah. All right. So that's back over there. Let's get rid of the electrical tape. All right. And let's see if I can get this tested. Bear with me for a moment because I have to get power to the Arduino. All right, we've got power source. Let's get the Arduino with the preloaded sketch. All right, I've got my notes as to what pins are what here. And first thing I'm going to test are the windows. Windows are on pin number 9. Well, okay, backtracking a little bit. Let's put the Arduino aside. Let's grab the soldering station. Let's turn it back on because where I left off last night or today or somewhere was I was getting the, it must have been this morning actually, I was going to get the positive on the power side hooked up to a jumper wire, but I ran out of them and I was waiting for Amazon to drop them off. So I've still got to hook this up. So yeah, that was a false start there. So let's reset everything up here. Get that jumper connected. And then we'll get to some flashy stuff. Dump those in there. All right. All right, I've got no idea what the chat's talking about. No worries. All right. Let's get this done quickly. Shouldn't take too long to do. have to go up to the next size tubing here. That's fine. That'll be fine. Do a 2-stage tube. Okay. Never seen it. That's probably why I was lost. All right. Okay, that should be the final solder of the evening. Hopefully. Whoop. There we go. One more go with the heat gun. Should have just enough time to test some lighting. And of course, since I'm testing it live on stream, none of it's going to work. Right. I should get that labeled. That is always how it goes. Especially if Murphy's involved. Oh, it's the worst tape job I've ever done. Let's try that again. Sharpie. Scissors. All right. Now I should be able to test some stuff. I did that once on the stream, hooked up the lighting on my Romulan bird of prey to test it, and bam, nothing happened. Yeah. I'm sure that's exactly what's going to happen. I am running this over the edge of my desk here in the back, so I'm just going to grab a quick piece of tape, give myself some slack, and just tape that wire down. Luckily it was just a wire that broke inside the insulation. Yeah. Ken says, Andrew, will you be picking up any of the new Star Trek kits round 2 showed off at Wonderfest? What did they show off that was new apart from the Cerritos? I'm sure I will get the Cerritos. I wasn't so sure about that design when it first came out, but it's kind of grown on me. Then again, I am always a kind of partial to underslung warp nacelles. Sutherland, well, Nebula class, I should say, was one of my early favorites when TNG was first on the air. Love the Akira class. I like the I do like the Luna class as well. All right, let's hook up power to the breadboard. You have the Cerritos on pre-order from Cult TV. Man, cool. 350 Defiant is coming. How big is a 350 Defiant? What scale is this one? Ah, it's at the bottom of my pile. So the regular one's at 420. That's decent. I'd be surprised they'd bring a 350 out. Oh, Reliant. Reliant, not Defiant. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, they haven't committed to bringing that out yet. It's still on the they would like to list. All right. There's power for the Resurgence class is one of your favorites. Resurgence class. I am not familiar with a Resurgence class. But that's what we've got Google for. I'm not seeing anything. Resolute class. All right. Let me go back to the Google. Resolute class. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I like the coloring on it. I'm seeing. I like the dark patches. Cool. All right. Let's see. Round 2 said at Wonderfest that they were working on it. They said they had some really good pictures of it to work from. That's good. Resurgence was a ship from Star Trek Resurgence, the last video game they did based on the Excelsior class. Cool. Yeah, I really like the Akira. And at some point, when I don't have a commission bill to worry about, I will do the Akira. So this is the 1000 scale clear cast Akira. And this will be one that is done just for me. Won't be selling that one. All right, let's see. So we got positive power. Let's get Windows negative. And Windows data is white. So with the Akira is a beast of a ship, yeah. Donnie says, I saw somebody a long time ago build a huge Akira class on YouTube. I can't remember who it was. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen anybody build it. Okay, Windows is, I'm going to pull the power on the Arduino, because now I'm going to plug in to pin 9. Part of me does not want to plug this in. It's quite possible I've got the wrong Arduino here. What did I say about it not working? Hopefully it's just a matter of not having the right Arduino plugged in. Okay. Powers incorrectly. Window, window, window. Did you say let there be light first? It's the rule. Okay, let there be light. Now, windows were added to the script later on. It might be that I don't have the right script here. I know how I... Okay. Let's try something. Here, let me switch back to the Arduino. I thought the script was on. Let me plug everything in. I'm not going to panic yet. Let me grab one of these breadboard slots that has the resistor on it, and let's see if I can find okay, just when I needed a fresh roll of LED that has the factory produced connections on it. Okay, let's see here. Center is data, black to the white, red to the red. Okay. Not gonna do what everyone thinks I'm gonna do. And freak out. Okay. This will tell me if it's just programming on the Arduino. Okay, so it's not the ship. It's not anything on the ship. Clearly, the sketch does not have the window lights loaded on here properly. So, let's try something else. Let's try... Actually, let me plug this back in. And let me check the rest of the Arduino pins. So let's see, we've got warp on pin 4. So let's plug into pin 4. Let's power this up and see if we get a go to warp effect. Okay. Don't know if you can see this. There's 2 LEDs lit up. And that's actually a good sign because that's all the ship was doing. So that tells me that it's the sketch and not the LEDs inside the warp. Be careful with that strip, it'll take way more than 20 milliamps, yeah? Well, it's not going to drive all of the LEDs because it's only going to drive so many of the LEDs. Okay, let's try pin 5. That's interesting. These are the other color code. That's actually the Buzzards, but they're going green instead of red. That's fine. I think this... probably the reason why I haven't used this set is because it's the other color science. Okay. Well, we're not going to... Here, actually... let's see if I can find the Buzzards. So I want... How do I label these? Come on. I think I named it Nacelle Main. Yep. So let's unplug this for now. Let's plug this in. Where is the corresponding negative? This is in 5 for Buzzards. Buzzards already have the resistor for the data. Here it is. So let's just put it in here, put it in here. Let's see if the Buzzards work. Buzzards work! Whew. Let me just turn this light off. Move my chat out of the way. Can you see that? So there's one thing working. And you may not be able to see the fluctuations on camera because they're currently masked for painting. Let me turn this off. Let me turn some more off. Let me turn some more off. Well, we know the Bizards are working. You just can't really see the fluctuation because they are masked for painting right now. There we go. And then these white lights here are lit up because they're grabbing power off of the same power source as the effects in here. These are just constant on. So the flashers are on a separate circuit in the back there. But that's good. At least I know the Bizards work. It's nice to get a little bit of light going. But we'll have to sort out the sketch, I guess. You could barely see the fluctuation before, but it's just blown out. Yeah. Camera will do that. And of course, we can fully adjust. I can see the fluctuation. But it's hard for me to see the fluctuation as well because the yellow painter's tape's on top. So yeah, at least we do have some let's see what I can do here. Let me turn that off. I'm going to record a little bit of the video. And that way I'll have something I can post. Okay. Okay, that should be good. Stop recording that. I'm gonna grab a wee little bit. Which way would I'll just do it this way. Grab a little bit without my logo on it. Okay, recording. That should be good. All right, let's throw this back there. Let's throw... That's the wrong thing. That's the wrong thing too. There we go. All right. Let's see if I can get down a little bit closer here. So you can see the fluctuations. But it'll look so much better without the yellow painter's tape on those. Let me just, oh, the stand's drifting. Just power it down. And there you can see the painter's tape on there. That's what's making it hard to see the effect. Let me grab my chat back up here. You can definitely see the gases going now. Now you can see the fluctuations. That looks good, Andrew. Yeah, it's fluxing. Well, that looks good, Andrew. I'm giving her all she's got, Cap. And yeah, all right. There we go. Unrefined camera work. Live on stream. There we go. All right. So at least that works. Do I have anything else I have connected everywhere? The warp. I know the warp has a issue on the sketch. Navs. Did I connect up? Deflector's not connected, which is necessary for deflector impulse. Yeah, I think that's all I'm actually going to be able to test tonight, unfortunately. But there's one lighting effect tested and working, and I've got a little clip I can post, which is always a good thing. Actually, while I'm here, while I've got this connected, let me turn this back on. Let me get this back down a little bit. And let's record a clip live for the upcoming video, shall we? Let's get that there. Let's okay, let's get rid of my face. Let's get rid of the logo because that'll be added in post on this one. And let's record something. Caution, YouTuber voice about to be activated. So it's been a while here. Let's try that again. So I've been spending a fair bit of time getting these wires connected up to the jumper wires. I had to order a whole bunch more off of Amazon. We got a whole bunch of these. I was running out. And I've got Bizards functioning. You can see them going on here. We've also got the nav lights here on the nacelles. There are some issues. I've tried out the warp effect, and there's only 2 LEDs that are working on that right now. But I've made sure that it's not the actual LED strip inside the ship. It's something to do with the Arduino. I'll try reloading it. What else have I tried here? The Windows. Windows are not working, but again, I've tested that out on another LED strip, and it's not the LEDs inside the ship, which is always a concern. But we do have one of the circuits working, and it's looking pretty fine here. If I turn off the Arduino, you can see that these are still masked for painting. So the effect that you're going to see on here is quite muted compared to what it will look like once that is done. So I've got a lot more testing to do. I've got some more wiring to connect here, and we will get that done and hopefully get these effects sorted so that we can have a little bit more shiny to show in the next clip. All right, let's turn this back on. Turn this back on and move the camera back up and check the chat, because I had to move the chat off my screen while I did that. It'll stop jiggling in a moment there. All right, let's see what the chat is saying. Nice job, nicely done. Looks great, Andrew. Cool. All right. Well, I think that is basically all I'm going to be able to get done tonight because I need to do some work where I can focus a little bit more to sort out what is going on with the rest of the effects on the nacelles there. But it's nice to have some lights functioning. And to be honest, out of all the lights on the nacelles, the Buzzards in this model are the ones I'm always the most worried about because it's the cluster of 3 LEDs in there, and you really have to make sure that you're wiring that up really well so that it all works properly. Can we can you test other circuits by just giving them 5 volts? I could test the just the navigation lights because they are dumb LEDs. They're just 0402 SMDs, but they actually will not turn on without the appropriate data going to them. So they won't drive the LEDs without the data from the Arduino to do that. So you can send power, but they won't actually turn on, or they'll just turn on wrong if it's not set up correctly. Can we get a look at the 650D? Yeah, you can get a look at the 650D before we go if you want to see what's been done. I mean, not a whole lot's been done, but I can definitely give you the tour of the 650D and what's going on with it. So let me clean this up because I need to make some space. So I just need to make sure everything is disconnected so I'm not pulling anything on the ship. Let's move this over to the main bench. Get that out of the way. Move the Arduino out of the way. Declutter this a little bit. Because anytime I pull out the D, I have to make sure I've got enough space to actually put it somewhere, because it takes up a little tiny bit of space. Just what you would notice. All right. Anything specific you want to see on the D? Yeah, I'm using addressable LEDs for the Windows too. That way, if we want to take it into red alert mode or Borg assimilation mode, we can change the color scheme up on that and basically do anything that you want to on it. I had originally thought about not using the addressable LEDs for the window lights, but talking to Danny, my programmer, we kind of decided to go with the addressable LEDs. That way, if we wanted to, we could control each and every one of them. Curious about the phaser array, how the phaser array came out. Okay, I will grab a top saucer. All right. Okay, I can just get the whole thing in frame here. Good. All right. So phaser array right now, so the whole thing's been drilled out and replaced with clear resin, and really nothing else has happened with it between doing that and now, as far as the phaser array is concerned. Let me grab the part that goes on there. So these are the phaser array parts that actually go on. Here, I can do it this way. On the ship, and so the larger of the two is for the top. This one is for the bottom, and I've got them taped down to this board simply because they came in one piece, which is great for not having any seams in the phaser array, but they are delicate and need to be protected until they go down, and so they are taped to this board, both sets of them, and so they are clear. The whole thing is clear, and it'll get clear epoxied down to the surface, and then lightly painted so that the LED effect comes through there. Be right back. Let's see. That's an awesome idea. That's no moon. Do you need to use any photo etch parts with this one like people do with the 1400 scale? All the details are either in the parts that go on it or easily dealt with. So something that's not detailed in the part that will probably have to be dealt with are the deflector array grid lines. So they are not part of the kit. So I've got some lines drawn on here to give those center lines, and I'll probably have to lay the sections of the mask down to give me the guideline for putting those grid lines on, so that the grid lines that I put on match with the paint scheme that will go on. So kind of have to figure that out as it happens. I'll have to jump off that bridge when I get there, but that's kind of the thought right now. But apart from everything else, is my code working, Andrew? Hey, Danny. I'm gonna reload the sketch onto that Arduino, so the Bizards are working. If I knew you were coming into the stream, I could have kept it attached. I've taken it apart right now. Warp nacelle, so the warp effect is only lighting up 2 LEDs on the front right now, and they're only lighting them. They're not the blue to white right now. So the window on pin 9 doesn't seem to be doing anything. And I've tested these on LED strip apart from the ship, so it's not the LEDs inside the ship, it's something else. So yeah, so I was just testing out the nacelle items, because that's what I've got the jumper wires connected to right now. And here, let me just switch here to
there, because I can talk. I can talk a little bit better now. Yeah, so we tested out, or I tested out, the warp effect, the window lights, and the Bizards. So the warp effect only had 2 LEDs lighting up and not the right color, and the windows weren't doing anything. So I figure I'll reload the sketch onto the Arduino and just make sure I've got a fresh copy of it on there.
Thank you. I'll disable that audio. I'll have to figure out how to disable the audio on the camera itself. Yeah, I don't know why the Umix is doing that tonight. But Bizards worked beautifully. Bizards worked beautifully. And actually, I might be able to recall... Let me see if I can recall that video here. Yeah, so you can see the Bizards working really nicely there. And remember that they're still covered in painter's tape. So yeah, Bizard effect is looking really, really good. Yeah, I've got 3 Arduinos here in the shop right now, so yeah, that's a good idea. I'll load the sketch onto a different Arduino. Actually, I might be able to test, because Danny, you sent me. I'm gonna pull up. Let me go. Let me go back here. You sent me a. Okay, I do this all the time. I open up Silhouette Studio for the Cameo 4 instead of the Arduino program, because the icons look so similar in color, and I don't have that in my taskbar. Of course, you can't see anything I'm doing here. Let me just open up the Arduino program. Okay. Open recent. White light. Pin 6. That's all I needed. Because I'm pretty sure I've got the white light test sketch loaded onto one of these Arduinos here. Yeah, I'm not pulling that tape off until the thing's painted. But the nice thing is that we can adjust that afterwards. Let me get rid of this. All right, let me... how many LEDs? Define LEDs, 8. That's good. That's what we want. Let me switch to bench view here. There we go. All right. This Arduino should be the white light sketch. So let's hook this up. Hook that up. Let's bring her back over. Let's grab, okay, where are Windows? My red 30 gauge wire is incredibly tightly wound, so it bunches up like crazy on here. Where did it go? Windows! Ah! It's a monster. Okay, Windows. Let's grab the other Windows here. Windows. Of course, tell me if I'm connecting this wrong. Yeah, that's a good test to use, the white light test, all the connections and for the Arduino ports. Yeah. All right, that's what I was thinking. Okay, white is my Windows. And I've got the data resistor already in here, so I'm going to go directly into pin number... Wait. What pin did I say? I think I said pin 6. Got it. Pin 6. All right. Pin 6. Let there be light! Yes, there's light. There's window light all over the place. And of course, the windows will look a lot better once they've got microcrystal clear inside. Okay. And everybody's telling me that's pin 6. Okay, so nothing's wrong with the LEDs. They're all working nicely. Yeah, all the windows are glowing exactly the way they should. Yeah, I said it with enthusiasm. What was the doctor on that DS9 episode? Let there be light! Okay, Danny, so, yeah, I did check the warp drive lights, and they're only doing the first 2 LEDs in the row, and they're not the right color. And I don't have... Oh, you want me to check them on the white light sketch? Yeah. Okay, see if they light up. Got it. Just so everybody knows, Danny in the chat here is the guy who's doing the Arduino programming. So he's the brains behind the lighting on this project. All right. Okay. Pin 6. It should only light up the first 8 LEDs on the strip. Yep. Works perfectly fine. Works well. So, not a problem with the LEDs, that's for sure. There you go. Successful test. Good to know, yeah. Alright, so I will... Yeah, I can change it, except I'm not going to change it right now for this testing, for the simple purpose of my laptop is not over at my desk hooked up to the display link right now. So I only have a limited number of USB ports, and they're all being used for the live stream. So I can't actually connect the Arduino to my computer right now to change that. That is a big relief to know that this works. So what I will do, and Danny, I'll give you the update on how this goes. What I will do is I will upload the sketch, the test class import sketch you sent me a long time ago. I'll upload that to a different Arduino, and just so that we eliminate the hardware out of the equation, and then I will do another test run on that. But we do know that the Bizards work beautifully, which is awesome. So, okay, no worries, just test it later. But in that case, I will have a look at the script this week. Cool. All right. Well, you should run this script using all the ports. Yeah. So I don't have everything wired up to the jumpers yet. So I will do that. I wanted to get at least the nacelles wired up and the windows so that I could test that stuff, make sure everything was working, and at least have a little bit of something to show with the lights. Oh, the white light one, yeah. Again, I have to deal with all this here, consolidate a bunch of stuff down, and get it connected to the jumpers so that it'll work in the breadboard or the Arduino properly. So, yeah, once I get all that done, I will get to doing more testing, and then we've got the other E to do, which is over on a desk off camera there. So, all right, with that, I am going to call that a night. What I mean, the white light script, use the windows and change the port number, run through. Oh, okay, yeah. And what I could do is I could load the window. I could load the white light script up on the Arduino that it wasn't working, and make sure that we can eliminate whether the Arduino is an issue. That's a good idea. All right, I will do that, but I will not do that tonight because I have to be up early in the morning, and it is about 11 minutes past where I was planning to end the stream, so I'm going to end the stream here with that successful Buzzard lighting test. And at least we've got that part of it sorted out. So, all right, everybody, have a great night. Thank you for spending your time with me tonight. It's been great chatting with you, and I'm hoping my kids keep going to bed well so that I can do this a little bit more consistently on Saturday night. So have a good night, everybody, and I will see you again later.